and welcome back to Pseudo Gameplay TV for what is, at least for now, the final character analysis and spotlight. Now, we will revive this series when we get the final DLC package, including the Fantastic Four characters who are yet to be fully revealed and announced to us. But if you want to catch those videos when they come out, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, because we will be doing character analysis just like every other character we've seen. Additionally, I have every single character analysis and spotlight we've done so far in a playlist here on my channel, so if you've missed any of them, feel free to go back and give them a watch. But today, we are looking at the final character who is obtained through the Rise of the Phoenix, which is, of course, Phoenix herself, or Jean Grey, as she's more commonly known. Now, Jean Grey is one of the original X-Men. She appeared in X-Men number 1, which was released in September of 1963, though she did have quite a bit of character and ability growth and enhancement as the comics progressed. In her base form, Jean Grey is a very powerful telepath and telekinetic wielder, so she's certainly not an opponent to be trifled with. However, she also was imbued or possessed, as it were, by the Phoenix Force, which is a cosmic entity which also operates with powerful psionic abilities such as telepathy and telekinesis, but also permits her the ability to manipulate matter and energy and life force manipulation, and also with having a high amount of cosmic awareness and prescience. So she's got a lot of power wielded behind her with the iteration of the character that she's most well known for and the version of the character that has been made available to us. She's a very, very powerful and integral part to really any team that you put together. Now, in terms of her abilities that she has, we first have the Phoenix Fury, which is pretty straightforward. It's a charge, hold to charge attack, and dashing forward to knock through the opponents in her immediate line of attack, where she will swirl forward in a vortex of energy. Her second attack is also one that you would charge up to use its most effectiveness. It's the Cosmic Might, where she will explosively release energy in all directions to attack the surrounding area. This is another attack that you can hold to charge, and it's omnidirectional with an increasing sphere of influence the longer the attack is charged, though it will detonate once it reaches its full potential. Her third attack, which she has, is the Telekinetic Talon, where she lifts up enemies in front of her using talons of energy and makes them explode. So a very high damage dealing attack there as well. And her fourth and final ability, which is a very unique ability to her. We haven't seen any other character with an ability quite like this. It's called Cleansing Flames. She will create a field that inflicts continuous damage on foes, which we have seen in her opponents previously. However, in addition to dealing continuous damage, it also converts EP, which she then absorbs. So in terms of dealing out non-stop constant damage through your EP attacks, this is by far one of the most effective attacks that you can have going at any time. Now, it lasts for a pretty long period of time, but unlike other area of effect type attacks like Gambit, you can only have one of them active at a time. So as soon as you try and set it up somewhere else, the old area where you've had this sphere of influence set up will dissipate. And we'll showcase that as we get into a 200 wave style rift against grunts and smaller mini-boss characters. The team that we have put together today does maximize all of Phoenix's specific abilities. That is done by including her love interest Cyclops, as well as Magneto and Psylocke. So a lot of really high power, high damage output characters with this team synergy. So let's go ahead and hop into the Gauntlet, where you unlock Phoenix, so you can have a brief overview at what you need to do in order to unlock her once you've purchased and updated the game to include this DLC. and then we will jump into that 200 wave style rift and showcase her in action. So once you're into this Gauntlet menu, you will need to select the level 40 Fire and Fury style Gauntlet. And this Gauntlet is pretty straightforward. It has some very interesting quirks as well, in addition to being a member of the Danger Room. Now, the really cool thing about this particular set of Gauntlet is it builds on the characters that you've unlocked previously. So the first room is Iceman will pop up. You have 5 minutes to take him down. And the Phoenix Protocol is active during this quest. Now, what the Phoenix Protocol does is, as you defeat certain enemies, they will drop the Phoenix particle charges, and it will amp up your attack as soon as it's active on the character. However, it will also deal some continuous damage to the character as soon as they activate that Phoenix Protocol. Now, if you use a character that has an auto heal, such as Wolverine or Deadpool, it will kind of counterbalance and make the self-damage that's inflicted pretty negligible. So if you're looking for an easier way to clear out these quests in this Gauntlet, those two would be among the characters that I highly recommend bringing along for the ride. The second quest, as we're aware, continues down the characters that are unlocked during this style of from this DLC. So Gambit is the next one that pops up. Just like the previous quest, you have 5 minutes to defeat him when he appears, and additionally, you will gain a certain percentage of your health back after clearing out this quest. The third is a little bit of a change to the formula, where you will have to defeat Cable, but Cyclops will also be present and a character that you'll need to defeat. It's still on a 5-minute timer, but given that the Phoenix Protocol is active, it's pretty straightforward as long as you are able to pour out the consistent damage. The fourth and final portion of this Gauntlet, which you will need to do, which will then unlock Phoenix and make her available to you, is defeating Phoenix. When she appears, you have 5 minutes to take her out, and after that, she's all yours to use. And like I said, she is quite a powerhouse, and we're going to showcase that right now. So let's hop into a 200 style wave rift. All right, so right off the bat, it's important to note that Phoenix, as she double jumps, it will place her into a flying state. Her aerial attack, she will downcast an energy projectile, which does cause knockdown among the opponents that are affected by it. Her standard melee attacks are a 3-hit burst followed by a 4th stronger burst of this fire energy, which will knock down the opponents that it connects with, if granted that they're smaller characters that can be knocked down by it. And her heavy attack is similar to her aerial. It's just more concentrated and directly in front of her instead of a few feet out in front. Now, typically we go through these attacks in terms of their viability, or their order, but I'm actually going to start off with her 4th ability, which is the Cleansing Flames, as it allows you to continuously sap up the EP and replenish your attacks so you can charge them up. So this attack that we just used, apart from the Cleansing Flames, was the Phoenix Fury, where you'll see she charges up. You can kind of manipulate how she curves around the battlefield once it is released, but it's a very powerful attack. Set up another Cleansing Flames here to get some of our EP back, and we will now showcase the Cosmic Might, which you can see is a pretty heavy-hitting flame explosion all around the character. Her 4th and final ability that we'll showcase today is the Telekinetic Talon, where you'll see she launches these flames out in front of her in kind of a cone-shaped arc, which does some pretty efficient damage. Her extreme attack does take place out in front of her a little bit, sets up a similar effect to the Cleansing Flames. She has some Phoenix Force projections that fly out from her, and then all of the characters that are involved in the flame get knocked out pretty readily. So Phoenix is a very, very, very high damage dealing character, and she will just allow you to blitz through pretty much any content that you would use her for, as she has a unique ability to replenish her own EP to continually lay down high damage special attacks. So we've seen a lot of really cool characters being added with DLC. I'm highly impressed with Phoenix, and she in and of herself is a very powerful asset to have along with any team. So if you haven't had a chance to unlock her just yet to use her in your quests, I would highly recommend doing so. Well, like I said at the beginning, this does conclude, at least for now, our Character Spotlight series. We will return to it once we get the final, what appears to be 5 characters added in future DLC packs that will be released hopefully within the next 3 months or so. So make sure you're subscribed to stay up to date for when those videos come available. We'll be doing some more Ultimate Alliance content in the future. So if you're excited for that, please feel free to leave a like on the video and comment down below as to other videos that you'd like to see, whether they be Marvel Ultimate Alliance related or anything else that you think I should give a whirl. But thanks again for your time, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.